Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone to the 2022 Rowan-Salisbury School Board Forum, sponsored by the Rowan Chamber, Salisbury Post, and Catawba College. My name is Glenn Weatherby, and I'm the pastor of Grace Covenant Church in Kannapolis. I also am the chair of Rowan Partners for Education, that board, and I will be moderating our event this evening. We'd like to thank all the candidates for coming tonight and participating. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to run for an elected office, and so we thank you for your commitment and your willingness to serve. We will begin tonight's forum, and each candidate will have 1 minute to share an opening statement. I have received questions submitted by the readers of the Salisbury Post that I will be asking. The candidates have not received these questions until right now. They're seeing them for the first time. Each candidate will be allowed 1 minute to answer the question. We have, thanks to Dr. Michael Bitzer with the Catawba College, he has provided us his digital timer, so you can see it's right there in front of us, and you'll see the time ticking down. And so we would please ask when the time runs out that you would immediately conclude your remarks. We would also ask that the candidates would speak directly into the microphone. We're recording and televising this event, and so if you begin to speak outside the microphone, we will not be able to hear what you're saying. So please, directly into the microphone. And also, we ask all candidates to refrain from interrupting or speaking while other candidates are speaking. We will go in reverse order at the end of our time. We're going to start with opening statements. I'll ask the questions at the end. Each candidate will have 1 minute to make a closing remark, and we will again do that in reverse order. And so, audience members, please, if we could refrain from applause until the end of the event, we would greatly appreciate that. Now we want to move to the introduction phase of our forum, and we will start with the north area. Each candidate, again, you have 1 minute for your opening statement, and we'll begin with candidate Kevin Jones.
Thank you, guys. Moan. There you go. My name is Kevin Jones. Thank you all for being here and being a part of this forum. I'm excited to be here tonight and get this campaign season kicked off. So my name is Kevin Jones. I'm the current school board member for the North Rowan area. That's seat number 1. I'm the father of 5. I have students at North Rowan Elementary, North Rowan Middle, and North Rowan High School. I was a board chairman for 2 years before this year during my time on the board. I'm a local business owner. I own some Subway restaurants and a general contractor. And I think there's more work to be done on the board, so I'm excited about running again. I think that our current board is moving in the right direction with a new superintendent that we recently hired, and I'm excited to keep that work moving forward and continue to improve the education in our entire area.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rashid Muhammad. As everyone knows, I'm in the North area running for seat number 1. This is my first time running. I've been in the Spencer area for 16 years. I work for the North Carolina Department of Public Safety at Stonewall Jackson Training School with juveniles at risk. I'm here to serve, and I see there's some great changes that have occurred. And like I stated again, I'm here to serve.
My name is Dean Hunter. I appreciate you being here tonight for this forum. It's been my privilege to serve 2 terms on the Board of Education, currently serving this year as the chairman of the board. And like Kevin said, I believe we're doing a lot of things right now. We're excited about our new superintendent and getting some stability into our system. I am married to a 22-year teacher, not a 22-year-old teacher, a 22-year veteran teacher. I have 2 students, 2 children in the school system, one at Collier Light, one at China Grove Elementary, and I'm a graduate just a few years ago of South Rowan High School myself. It has been my pleasure to serve. Excited about it, excited about what's ahead. We do have some challenges, and I think we have the right person as our superintendent in place. I believe we have the right board in place currently, and I look forward to serving another term if I'm elected. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ruth Marone. I'm a teacher at Carson High School. I've been a teacher for 32 years, 20 of those years in Rowan County, and as a nationally board certified teacher. I enjoy teaching. I have 2 successful graduates from Carson High School that I've raised, and I enjoy education, my colleagues. I want to be there for the students and the teachers and just make sure everybody is doing the best they can to have the best career in their future.
Thank you. Okay.
This is our mic.
Okay. My name's, hello, check, volume.
You're good.
My name's Michael Chapman. Grew up in Mecklenburg County, but have lived in Rowan County for the last 9 years. I have 2 daughters, which we actually homeschooled when we lived in Anson County, but I have grandchildren who lived with us, who one graduated from Carson, one graduated from South. I have served at the request of the governor for 17 years, helping veterans and helping with a veterans memorial, very active in the veteran community when I can, especially Gold Star family members, which is what I am. I'm not going to be cheerful about the way the school system is because I think it's broken. I think we have a lot of improvement that needs to be done, and the numbers I'll share with you tonight, if I have time, will prove that. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Lynn Marsh, and I am currently an appointee on the board for the past year. And I have 35 years plus experience in education. I have a PhD in business administration, a master's in school administration, a master's in specific learning disabilities, and undergraduate degrees in regular ed and special ed. I'm currently an adjunct professor at Catawba College, and I teach special ed teachers. And I also am very, very thrilled about what things we have that we are going to go forward with as a board. And we're real enthusiastic about working with our new superintendent. And I have the utmost faith that we're going to be moving in the right way. I've been a principal, adjunct professor, teacher, teacher assistant, and at times a custodian in the school. So everybody has to do every job. So thank you for coming.
My name is Brad Jenkins. I am a local pastor in the community. I served 6 years in the United States Army. Something about myself, I've been in active service in the community for my entire adult life. I really feel like the parents in our community need a voice on the school board. My commitment to you is that I am going to actually listen to the constituents that vote me in if I should be able to earn your vote. I graduated with 4.0 pastoral theology degree, served, as I had mentioned, in the United States Army, graduating top in my class, and been in our community now for almost 8 years, serving and actively engaging and running various programs in the school, and noticing that there is a major need to really try to garner parent involvement and help and encourage the people. And so I'm running to make a difference and actually listen to the parents. Thank you.
Good evening, Ebony Rivers Boyd, and I am a proud graduate of Rowan-Salisbury schools. I came back and taught in Rowan-Salisbury schools for 7 years after earning degrees in political science and history and a master's in public administration. My campaign is ran on to connect, to serve, and to impact. That is what I've done in this community since I was 14 years old, and it is what I will continue to do on the school board. Connecting our families, our teachers, and our students to understand the greater goal, serving them. I am a servant. I operate in a servant's heart. And so I call this heart work. This is not hard work. It's hard work that must be done. And then impacting our future as a reminder of where you can go, what can happen, and what will happen with the support of an effective board and an effective community. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jimmy Green, and I'm running for seat 4, which is in the West District. A little bit about me is I have a wonderful wife and 4 beautiful children, all reared in the Rowan-Salisbury school system. My mom, sister, and daughter were and currently are teachers here in the county. I'm a high school softball coach, have been for the last 10 years at West Rowan. That's my fun job. My real job is I'm a co-owner in a successful business here in the county. I love the school system. I'm entrenched in it and invested in it. My success comes from the people of Rowan County. I interact with our staff daily and throughout the year. I currently have served on numerous boards, including Smart Start Rowan, the Booster Club, Partners in Learning, my church, and I have a great knowledge, I feel, of the background of mixing business and serving on a nonprofit to be a good candidate for the board.
Good evening. I am Willie Jean Kennedy, born, bred, and educated in Rowan County. I grew up in Granite Quarry, North Carolina, grades 1 through 8, then transferred to East Spencer, where I've graduated from Dunbar High School. I am an AME Zionite, so Livingstone College was my school of choice. I worked for 35 years plus in our system. I did a lot of growing, and I love what I did. I would do it again, but I'm just a bit old for what most of our students want.
Good evening. My name is Sabrina Harris, and I'm running for the special seat number 6. I'm a proud product of Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. I graduated from Garinger High School and attended UNC Charlotte. I am a graduate of the Leadership Rowan program. I've been a member of the Rowan Chamber, so clearly I'm a business owner here. I love what I do. I work with children and young adults who are creative. I'm also a seamstress and fashion designer. And I have 5 children, 2 of which are still in our school system. And I'm married to a wonderful man of God. And I'm just grateful to be here this evening and can't wait to tell you a little bit more about the views that I have for our school system.
Candidates, we want to thank you for your opening statements. And now we will move into the Q&A part of our program this evening. I will ask, again, the questions were given to us from the readers of the Salisbury Post. I will ask a question. Each candidate will have the opportunity to respond, and then we will start with a different candidate with each question. And so we will move by area, and we will start with the north area. And so candidate Kevin Jones, you'll be the first this evening. The first question is this. Have you spent an entire day in a Rowan-Salisbury school recently? If so, describe your experience. If not, will you commit to doing so once elected to the school board?
Yeah, believe it or not, I did. I spent an entire day at Irwin Middle School a couple weeks ago. I was invited by a teacher there to come and talk to students about job applications and job interviews as a small business owner. So I went and spent the full day with middle schoolers, and it was the worst day of my entire life because middle schoolers are difficult and challenging. No, just kidding. It was a challenge. I told the teacher I have no idea how she gets through every day, but I loved interacting with the students. So we went through everything about how to fill out job applications, what it looks like to come in for interviews. And then the reason I did it, one's because the teacher asked me, and it's something I've done every year, twice a year for the last several years. But I feel like that's a great way that we can show how we're preparing our students beyond just science and math and English tests and grades at the end of the year, but we're preparing them with life skills that will transition beyond that. So that's something I think is important. So I think those students had a good time in that class, but they also learned something that'll help them no matter what they do after school.
I have not spent an entire day within the Rowan-Salisbury school, but the times that I have spent this year within the schools at the elementary level, seeing the future leaders work on conflict resolution, as well as the seeking of a positive image and role model, which they look for when they come to the institution for learning. And if I am elected, I will be committed to spending more time as well.
So we're saying the same question, right?
Same
All the way through.
question. That's right.
I have not been an entire day recently. I've been recently several schools. I went in for multiple hours, if not. So I guess that would make a full day. I'm not sure how we would spend a full day there with real jobs, but I've noticed, fortunately, I say this for my school in my area, I spent most of the day in 3 of our elementary schools, 1 of our middle schools in the South, and I've more often than not been impressed with what I see in our schools, especially in our elementary schools. Of course, I've been in that area for quite a while, so I know many of the people, a lot of the students, whether they're church or church friends or youth, and I see a lot of engagement, which is something we look for. Someone earlier said that the system was broken, and I will acknowledge we have flaws, we have issues, which is why we need leadership. But I think it's always impressive to see teachers engaging with the students, students responding well, and I've been excited about that.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm still teaching, so yes, I spent an entire day today at Carson. Our kids and I had a great time today. We started a new unit on the family, and we had a lot of fun doing that. I love being at the school. I love the students. I don't think you can get me away from the school system, even if I was on the board. I would have to come back. I'd love to go to the elementary schools and just read to the kids, go to the middle schools and see what they're doing, and high schools. I've taught at South for 4 years, and I love that school. And I got ties at Carson, too. So, yeah, you're not going to get me out of the school system.
Last year, I had the pleasure of being a teacher assistant at East High School. It was not a good experience. I don't see how the teachers can even come to school and teach. The discipline was out of control. Between the phones, the communications, the disruptions, the cursing, the threatening of teachers that happened there, it was a nightmare. And that's kind of where I started thinking there's got to be something else that could be done. I started attending meetings last year and have been at every meeting practically since then, and I have seen different things. I know the school board passed a new discipline policy in June, but when you went to the website after school started, it wasn't up. And I had to call and remind a school board member, where is the new policy? So even though the new policy had been done, it hadn't been really totally implemented because it wasn't there.
I at least once a week, I probably go and spend some time in a classroom, but being an adjunct professor and putting out teachers there, I have all their student teachers are located in the classrooms. So I go in and spend the day with them, their teachers. I've been in most of the schools here in Rowan County. I intend to continue doing that. And I taught for 10 years at China Grove Elementary as a special ed teacher. And I've done everything from being a human hot dog to being an ice cream cone. And I don't hesitate to get in there anytime I can and read to the students and get involved with their lessons, because that's what makes me happy, that makes me energized, and I am there for the teachers. I am there to support our teachers and our schools, and I am really proud of what I have seen in the classrooms. Thank you.
Well, I have not spent an entire day, but I have spent time in some of our local schools. The question is, explain your experience. I think that every one of the kids, even though some of them may come from a little rougher background and some may come from what we consider a better background, every one of those kids have incredible value. And encountering each one of them, you can see just a little special measure of this kid's probably going to be good at that, and this kid's going to be good at that. And something I've observed is not every kid is designed to go to college. And so I think that's one thing that we need to work on is vocational training, and follows up with the question, would I commit, not only would I commit to being in the Carson School, I would commit over the time that I would be in going to every school in our entire county because it's an at-large member and wanting to represent all the schools effectively because the schools in West Rowan may not have the same needs as the schools in East Rowan. So thank you.
3 weeks ago, I spent a total of 3 days at Knox Middle School, North Middle School, and China Grove Middle School. While there, my intention and my goal was to teach students about how to be empowered in themselves and to love themselves, and also some literacy enrichment. What I noticed is what I've always said since I was a student and a teacher of Rowan-Salisbury schools, is how Rowan-Salisbury schools has some of the best teachers, the best students, and the best staff in the state of North Carolina. We have the potential to show, and we have the potential to really see what our children have if we continue to stand behind them and support our teachers and support our staff. Our students are so bright, they are so smart, and they are extraordinary. They live up to our motto every single day. And so I am beyond proud of what I see in our classrooms, and I am excited to work towards getting better.
Well, if you ask my wife, I live at that school. Yes, I have spent a full day at West Rowan High School and West Rowan Middle School. I've spoken at West Middle as recently and had a career day and spent all day and did the same, spoke to the business classes at West Rowan High School. And then I just like to interact with staff. Sometimes I can work remotely, so it allows me a little flexibility. If you want to know the heartbeat of a school system, is you go to the kids, and you'll find out at each school how it is from the kids. And like Ms. Ebony said, we have some wonderful kids here in the school system. I will say this, that if elected, that is my job, is to get out to every school. It was commented to me that, we need more interaction, just coming in and visiting and just seeing each school. And like Brad said, each school may have different needs, and we have to be aware of whatever need is for each school in the county.
I have been in different schools, but in no particular school all day. I went upon invitation. But I have to agree with what has been said from the two individuals before me. Students will be what you make them. If you see nothing in them, then they will be nothing. If you see a jewel in them, then they will blossom. I know I should have said flower, but I said jewel. I meant that because I want them to also shine. We can't just say, these are awful kids. What did you do to make them feel like not being awful kids? That was one of my challenges in the classroom. There are many challenges, but there are a lot of people who are good people because somebody saw something in them and chose to develop it.
Recently, I spent time at North Rowan High School, and when I got there, what I saw was students that were engaged, students that were happy with the new leadership that the school has. And when I talked to the teachers, they were all interested in knowing what was going to be different with a new school board, and in particular, what I was going to bring to the table. So I spoke to them about being hearing impaired and my disability, and I talked to them about listening and how I plan to help our board listen more. I am an avid volunteer. I was a Tier 2 volunteer up until it ran out last year, and then I decided to run for the board. So I'm always willing and able to commit my time to making sure that the students are heard and the teachers have support.
Thank you, candidates. Our second question will begin with the South area. And so candidate Dean Hunter would be the first to respond. This is the question. As more school options are becoming available to families in Rowan County, what can RSS do to continue to stay a competitive option?
Certainly more than a minute for response on that. This is definitely becoming more competitive with certainly homeschool in our county. I believe last count was around between 3,500 and 4,000 current Rowan-Salisbury resident students who would be in our school system are homeschooled. I'm a pastor, I'm an educator. My church has a school. My kids are in public school. I went to public school until college and seminary. I'm an advocate for parents to have their children educated however they feel best for their situation. With that said, I believe we have excellent education in Rowan-Salisbury. Opportunities, I would say. One of the things I have pushed for at least the last term, was how we can really reach out to the homeschool, and that would be a large number. And one of the ways we can do that is with Summit Academy, so they could homeschool as well as go to our school system as well. And I'm told that's being worked on as we speak.
I think that one of the ways we could be more attractive is to improve our test scores and some of our options for curriculum. We need to have a few more electives. I know Carson used to have psychology and some other really nice electives that they could take, and they don't have those anymore because positions are cut. So I think we need to focus on increasing our teachers and the classes and the curriculum that we can have them choose from, and getting our test scores up so we become more attractive. We also have the options of all the activities we have, and maybe make that more obvious to parents that are homeschooling. I mean, your kid has all these clubs they can join. We have athletics, and it's always a fun thing for kids to be able to involve with other students.
In talking to homeschoolers, and I've been out talking to a lot of homeschoolers, most of them feel like the school system has let them down. That's why they left. A lot of them have wanted to be involved with the athletics, and those doors have been closed on them, or they were told that they really didn't want them in there. We need to have more reach out. I think that this board, the entire board, it should be a board for all children. Every child in this county, whether they're homeschooled, private or public or charter, this board needs to be aware of them. This board needs to learn from homeschoolers what they're doing right, because they are outscoring our public education by leaps and bounds, and they're college born. I don't know how many of you realize this, but the numbers that were just released, only 19% of our graduates are career or college ready. That is shameful. We need to improve that.
The first thing we need to do as a school board and as a school system is to regain the confidence of the parents and the children that are in our system that we are working to improve academically and in other ways. I would like to see some of our preschoolers be housed in the regular schools. That would add to our numbers and also be a good transition into the regular schools. I'd also like to see some of our schools specialize in magnet programs and to push that to the community and give our kids more options to engage in the different schools. And I know our CTE, our Career Technical, is really expanding, and we have different academies at all the schools. So we have all these ideas. I know we're going to do them, and I feel certain that we will be getting homeschoolers back or sharing some things with them.
That's a great question. One of the things that I think that we certainly need to do if we're going to be a viable option for the families that are transitioning their kids out to charter or private school, Christian school or something of that nature, is strive for excellence. But more importantly, ask the teacher, the parents rather, who are moving their children, why? Have an actual frank conversation with parents. Why are you transitioning your students out? And how can we address those specific things? How can we help them to believe that our school will produce for them a safe environment that will educate them rather than indoctrinate them, that will actually help them to be successful? Parents want the best for their children. And if they think that they can get a better education somewhere else because there is a place that is striving for more excellence, that's an indictment on the board. We need to strive for excellence in every aspect and try and recruit people who will do that as well as teachers.
Great question. And I would have to say that we need to be effective and intentional in connecting with our community to determine the need. We need to identify the gaps and then work effectively to merge our community back together. Stretching across education, demographics, disabilities, learning differences, broadband stretch. We need to make sure that we are aware and that we are intentional about knowing what's going on and being able to connect so that we can gain the trust of individuals and parents to come back and share with us, this is my why. And then we're able to create a plan that we can work effectively together to push in order to help make sure that our schools are attractive and sustainable for the number of kids that we have. We have to invest and do this for our future.
You know, we have a duty to our students to provide the best schools that we can provide and make sure that we're meeting their needs. One aspect for me to serve on a school board is being a leader, and leaders need to be proactive and not reactive. And I think sometimes we get caught up in reacting to what the problem is instead of having a little bit of vision and trying to take some chances. I really like a lot of our things that we're doing now. I mean, the CTE program I think is fantastic. I love too that, I mean, you're talking to a coach, so I'm all about after-school activities from band, from sports to just at West Rowan. We're proud of our FFA program, and you know, we always talk about all of the extra hours students spend at a school, not just from school time. That there's a lot of effort put in after that. So I think we just got to make sure that we're meeting the needs and finding out. We got to inform ourselves and know what the need is and what do we need to do, and we'll have to do it.
I agree with Mr. Green about that. And I think, too, we could possibly offer some activities, some courses. We had a superintendent who wanted to begin doing that. She was trying to work on that program to get parents to just bring some children by who might need some extra help in reading, or to just let them see what we're doing in our schools. That's one big problem, I think. Parents hear something, and they go by what they hear. They need to go into our schools to become involved. You must look at the lack of community involvement in what we do now. What happened to PTA? What happened to these plays and everything else after school that might have encouraged parents to want to bring their children in? We need possibly some enthusiasm, but then to invite the parents to come in and see what we have to offer.
I recently visited Norvell Elementary, and my children are product of Mount Ella Elementary. The participation for parents was vastly different in both schools. Mount Ella has a strong parent PTA board and strong grandparents and aunties even participate in Mount Ella. Sometimes it's standing room only, shoulder to shoulder. But when I went to Norvell Elementary, the participation just was not that strong. And there was a lot of empty seats. And I believe that if we market our school system and the success story the way we market our county, being original, we will have much more successful rates with our students. Because when you care about something, you take care of it. And when you've done well, you're very proud of that. And I don't think we do enough of showcasing our school system. I think we beat each other down more than we build each other up.
So it wasn't that long ago that I was a student at West Rowan High School, and you showed up every day and you went to your classes and then you went home at the end of the day. And that's just not the case anymore. Our education has changed. My oldest daughter is a student at North Rowan High School, but she wanted to take a different class that wasn't offered there, so she found a way to take that class at Carson. So she's currently doing that. I think that's a great example of how we have to stay innovative as a district and have the right pieces in place to allow those things to happen. Another story is of a friend of mine. Their son was homeschooled all along. He's now in high school and he wanted to take some of our CTE classes. And so he's now enrolled at West Rowan doing CTE, still getting some of his homeschool. He's very blended schedule, but he's able to take advantage of some of those things that we have to offer through our CTE, which was mentioned earlier. But he's able to get those things that he couldn't otherwise have. But it's creative. It's outside of the box. He's not there all day. But we as a district can benefit from having him in our school system, but he also gets to stay connected at home, which is a part of their family values. So I think we have to continue to stay innovative and think creatively and have the pieces in place to allow those things to happen.
Well, first and foremost, it's imperative to make sure that if there are seats available within the schools for teachers, that we try to seek out these teachers, these educators to fill these seats. You know, upon a visit I had at North Rowan Elementary School, at that time, they were lacking, I believe it was a music teacher and I think an art teacher and things of that nature. And having those classes, the students are very excited and gives them something else to think outside of the box with. And maybe something that they may decide to have a profession or career in one day. Also, I know at North Rowan, they're trying to get more, we need more community involvement, volunteers for the youth to interact with, you know, even as far as having people from the community to come out and read, mentor, and just be there to show a presence that there is love, patience, and people that care within the community.
Thank you. Question number 3, we'll start with the southeast area. Candidate Michael Chapman will be the first to answer question number 3. What are your thoughts about our renewal designation? Are we on the right track? Should we consider abandoning it? Or should we double down since COVID interrupted its implementation?
Okay. How many hours do we have? First of all, let's look at 2017. These were statistics just given last month. In 17, 1 school scored an A, 3 schools scored a 3, 3 schools scored a B, and 15 scored a C. In 2022, 0 scored an A, 1 scored a 70 to 85, which is a B, 7 scored a C, which is 55 to 69, and 13 had Ds and 12 had Fs. We have gone down since this renewal system started. And the numbers, COVID can only be an excuse for so long. And I'll tell you an example. Faith Charter School. Faith Charter School in 1 year has outdone the state averages. And those are some of the same kids that children we had in public school. So they're not using that COVID excuse. We can't either anymore. So we need to scrap this thing or look at it really seriously.
As a school board member now, I am encouraged with the renewal system and going forward. I know that the state right now is working on what's called Operation Polaris. That is doing a different way of evaluating our schools. No school deserves F, D, E. They don't even know what goes on in the schools. And so what the state is doing is trying to improve this and be parent surveys, teacher surveys, culture of the schools, tardiness. Tardiness is a big reason that schools, and during the pandemic, that was a reason because the kids, some of them weren't even being taught. So I feel like that Renewal looks at the academics, the interpersonal skills, and the life goals of what that child wants. And it's our duty as a school board to make sure that happens in our school system. And Renewal can work because it gives flexibility in scheduling, budgeting, and the way we hire teachers and different things.
All right, so the question, and as Michael mentioned, the renewal program is continuing to decline. It seems to be a failed endeavor, and the old adage, that definition of foolishness or really being crazy is trying to do the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. We've continued down a path where we, as it's put in here, double down on this thing, and that's foolishness. Our children are too important for us to continue trying to push programs that are obviously measuring at a rate of continued return of failure. I think that the Renewal program could be some of the positive aspects of it possibly brought into a new program, but overall, I think that we need to really deal with the fact that if there's failing marks, our kids are too important to be a guinea pig. Let's move on to a program that will actually work. My suggestion, we go back to the way our foundation was, where we teach kids over indoctrinating them.
I was a Rowan-Salisbury educator when the Renewal system was implemented. And like most educators, we were nervous. We were a little unsure. However, I have been a part of the roller coaster of the Renewal District. And I do believe that if we take our time to look into the true metrics of growth and what progression looks like in Rowan-Salisbury schools, we are the only Renewal District in the state, which means that we are offered opportunities for severe flexibilities. And I do think that aspects of the Renewal system work, and I think that they are effective in order to create more holistically successful children coming out of our public education, coming out of our schools. I do think that as a board, we can start to look into, or we should start looking into, tapping into those flexibilities and really understanding where is our reach, how far and how wide can we stretch ourselves in order to meet the need and improve our scores and ensure that our students are getting the best education possible.
Well, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think COVID killed it. I think COVID, we are seeing the effects of a whole generation, and our students fell behind. And it doesn't matter what school they went to, we are playing catch up. The Renewal, I don't know if it's just as easy as can be to just drop it. I think there are implications with the state that we'd have to find out about. I like the flexibility of it, but then I also want us to have that common goal. I am all about let's say life courses. You know, I feel like we need to get back to teaching some classes and especially for our high school kids of just, you know, the real world of how is, you know, I got to balance a checkbook. I need to know how to apply for a loan, you know, as my daughter found out, taxes, you know, it's just a shock to people. So I would have to research it a lot more.
The path to renewal has been restructured. Some changes have been made, and here the system is now addressing the needs of every student. There's a realization that every student cannot go to college, every student will not be able to do this or that, but that there is a path for that student. So that's our new direction. We need to continue to just address these individual needs of our students to be sure that they travel the right path. But everybody's not on the same road. I know you're saying you don't want to hear what I'm saying, but everybody's not on the same road now. We're trying to meet the needs of the individual student. Some will go into service, some will go to college, some will go in possibly their own businesses because of our wonderful programs that we have in our schools now. You need to visit some of our schools and look at what they are doing, because they're working hard.
I have taken the time to study the Renewal plan as it is online, and I can definitely see the direction it is attempting to go. I do understand that, you know, with COVID, we've gotten behind. But one of the things I want to remind each of you is that we've gone through a lot of changes in leadership. And whenever leadership changes hands as much as it has in our county, it is bound to be the ball dropped somewhere. And I believe that the ball has been dropped with rolling this plan out all the way. If you take the time to read it and actually look at it online, if you even can find it, I'm a parent candidate. So I didn't know about it actually until I got on the board. And then it became more of something I was serious about. Well, I'm not on the board, y'all yet. Y'all got that from the memo. But I didn't know more about the plan until I started researching it. And I really, really have turned the pages and read everything. Everything in it is for each of our children to be successful in our county. And it can work, but it requires us all buying into it.
So I think Renewal is a great opportunity that we've been given as a district. I think what was just said, that we've had so much change in leadership. We also went through a very difficult last several years to be in education. So I don't know that Renewal, it's not a program, but as our designation, we haven't been able to take advantage of the flexibilities that we've been given in a way that we've been able to see the fruit of yet. I do not think we need to change it. I don't think we need to abandon it. I think we need to continue to take every opportunity that we have to think outside of the box for what's best for education in Rowan County. Anytime that we're able to take the control of our school district on a local level and let people that are elected by Rowan County citizens make those choices and those decisions on a local level, to me, it's always better than whenever it's done on a statewide level. So I always want to bring that level of control back locally. And I think Renewal allows us to do that, but we need to do a better job and have the pieces in place to take advantage of those opportunities. And I don't think we've done that yet, but I think we're moving in that direction.
When I think of this question, stability within the board will possibly make the Renewal designation be successful. And by tweaking it or conforming it to how the individual students' need can be met. I believe that COVID, it did do a number, but at the end of the day, we still have to put our student success at the forefront.
All right, so much to get in a minute. School grades need to change. It's been mentioned, I'll stop there because there's so much to say about it. To compare a small charter school to 18,000 students in a school system, you don't have to be a mathematician to figure out how their grade is better than 30 plus other schools, individual schools. There definitely needs to be some changes. Renewal is something that will be directed by the new superintendent. If you know me, you know how I feel about COVID. We were one of the first school systems, one of the only school systems, the earliest school system. This board put our kids back in school earlier than any other around us. And so we tried to do that. 4 years of Renewal, first year planning, second year, third year, COVID. We're currently in the fourth year. One superintendent, 2 interims, and a new superintendent. That answers your question about why Renewal has not been effective.
Because of COVID, I think our kids are a little bit socially behind, and I think that's affecting their academics. So Renewal, I think, can work, but I think right now we need to focus on the academics and the social well-being of the kids. Get them back up to par, get their grades back in the par, and then let's organize a school-wide, like elementary school does this at this level for the career choices, high school does the same thing so that it's all around the county as similar. It's not one school does this, one school does that. That's been a big problem, and it puts a lot of pressure on teachers too to have another class that they have to teach with kids they don't know and don't see but like 2 days a week, and that's been a problem. But the emotional, academic support that's what our kids, that's what we need to focus on right now, is just getting them back up to where they need to be, their maturity levels. They're great kids. The ones I've had since the beginning of the year and to right now, they're growing.
All right, candidates, we have 13 minutes left. Do we have time for one more question? Not so much. I think it's going to push it. Why don't we go ahead and begin our closing remarks. Each candidate will have 1 minute, and we will start in reverse order. So we will start with candidate Harris.
In closing, I would like to thank Catawba College, Salisbury Post, and the Rowan Chamber for this opportunity to discuss with you what we would like to do for our school board. I also want to thank them for the accommodations that were provided this evening for me to be able to hear and to follow along with the question. I want to remind you that I'm running because I believe in transparency. I believe in community. I believe in keeping our kids safe. And I believe in our ability to communicate effectively. It starts with our leader. And I believe that we have a wonderful leader at the head of this ship, and I'm looking forward, should I be elected, to serve up under her. Thank you for your time. My name is Sabrina Harris, and I'm running for special seat number 6.
I still say we must have the community, parents, and the schools in harmony. You cannot beat that combination. Having had 3 children go through and finish our system successfully, having worked in this system for more than 35 years myself, I know that we can make or prepare citizens who can participate anywhere in the world. We must find what matches that student, not what is offered in the whole class, but what matches that student and help that student grow.
Well, I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce and all the sponsors for hosting this forum. I appreciate all my fellow candidates for running because most people don't realize the time and energy and effort it takes, so this is a lot of work. In summary, it's going to take all of the county to come together and make positive things happen for the Rowan-Salisbury school system. We have some amazing students. We have some amazing staff members. I want to make sure that they all have the tools, the classrooms, and the facilities to succeed in educating our greatest asset. I feel like I excel in communication and problem solving, and I feel like these are 2 essentials that are needed to serve on the school board. I want a safe and secure school for all our students and for all our staff. We must work together to have a plan for not only our current issues going on, but for also the future. Rowan County's growing. Everyone has a responsibility to improving any facet of government. Elections matter, and people must inform themselves on the candidates and issues and must choose who best reflects Rowan County. I will work to energize our school system with positivity.
Thank you to the Rowan Chamber, Salisbury Post, and Catawba College for the opportunity. I just want to say that I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve in this capacity and to exercise my true passion, my true hard work. I am running in the West Seed, but I am dedicated to all of RSS, and I think that's an important vision. It's an important factor in a school board member. And so my goal will be to continue working together to serve, to impact, and to connect our communities, our students, our teachers, and all of our stakeholders together in order to help push our children, our now. They're not our future, they are our now, and pushing them into the appropriate and the brightest light for them to be as successful as possible. So again, my name is Ebony Rivers Boyd. You can find me on the back of your ballot running for Rowan-Salisbury School Board seat number 4.
Thanks, as they had mentioned already, thank you so much for putting this on. This is a tremendous honor to be even considered to be here, and it is a blessing that you put so much effort and work into this. One thing that I want to tell you is I'm a father of 5. I've got a lot of skin in the game, so to speak. If you didn't know anything about me, knowing I have 5 kids, I can handle conflict resolution, which we desperately need in our community as it's so diverse. And so we have got rural community and very urban community with different needs and different schools. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to serve. My entire adult life has been mirrored by a desire to serve the people to make our community better. I'm going to advocate for the students. I'm going to advocate for the parents. The parents are the ones who have really the most skin in the game for their child because they love the child. They want their child to be the most successful. And I'm going to listen to our parents. That's who really is going to elect us. Thank you for your time.
I would like to thank the Chamber and Catawba and the Salisbury Post for hosting this tonight. I am very dedicated to being a servant for the Rowan-Salisbury school system. And I do believe you need to know education to be able to make decisions that will benefit our children. You need to know the curriculum. I am running because I want to use my education and experience to make this the best system that we can make it. And I am there for safe schools. I want to get back to the basics. I want the parents to be involved. It's a team. You can't do it. You're the first teachers of our kids. I want to see the Knox and Overton project completed. I want to see every child meet their goal and take their life course, whether it be skills or academics, higher education. So thank you again for allowing us to be here tonight.
First of all, thank you for caring enough to be here. That's important. It's important to get our words out and let other people know what you hear, what you see. First of all, the low scores of our schools cannot solely be laid on the teachers. They're in an impossible situation right now. We've got to improve the discipline. That is a key. We've got to concentrate on getting basic information and education back in the schools, ABCs, math, financial responsibility and transparency. I don't need to say anything else there. Better communications with everybody. We need more follow-through and accountability of the central office. Until we admit the problems that we have here in this district, we can't fix it. And I just can't accept anyone saying we're on the right track right now, because I don't think we are. We need a lot of improvement.
Okay, thank you so much for hosting this tonight. I want to be an advocate for students and a voice for teachers. We're losing really, really good teachers right now just because of the pressure that's applied on them, and that's bad for our students. Our students need the best. We have very successful graduates from all over the county. Our kids go out and achieve a lot. I don't know about the 19%, but I know both my daughters are fully employed, and I'm very happy about that. But I love our kids, I love our community, and I want to make it the best and most positive place it can be. We've got a lot of growth coming in, and I just want to make sure our students and teachers are prepared for that and have all the resources they need to be the most successful students that they can be in life. Thank you.
Just likewise, thank you for being here and for everyone who was responsible for hosting. Certainly we have problems in the school district. The state has problems. The country has problems. We're here to work on it and do our best. I think it's important to understand that our current board values teachers, values students, values staff. In the last several years, hopefully you're aware, we have done a lot to show that. I'm not a friend of COVID, and COVID's not a friend of me. I don't like for it to be an excuse, but it is what it is. This board, several that are on this platform tonight, has somewhat put our money where our mouth is. We've invested in teachers, we've invested in students, we've invested in schools. I feel like financially we've been very fiscally conservative and sound. We've invested in classified salaries, probably the largest increase in classified salaries in recent history. That's non-teachers. We are paying teachers a bonus right now. They're about to get one at the end of the month. And so we have an accountability, we have an opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the challenge of moving forward. Thank you.
I would like to thank the Rowan Chamber, Salisbury Post, and Catawba College for putting this on, and most of all, the parents that are here present and the parents that are watching as well. Because first and foremost, it's about the students. And before we can position to educate them, we have to make sure that they're safe, make sure that there's control. Also, there takes a village to raise these children, to get them where they need to be. So as far as the educators, it's going to take more than just that. It's going to take the community. It's going to take the parents to continually be involved. And again, I'm Rashid Muhammad, Seat 1.
I too thank you for letting us be a part of this. As a voter in Rowan County, it's good for me to hear from other candidates that we all get to vote for. So anybody you can find to tell that to, make sure everyone in the county knows that everyone votes for all 5 of the open seats that are up for the election. A lot of people don't recognize that. But I think the theme for me tonight was engagement. I think we've talked over and over and over about the value of engagement. So whether that's from engaged teachers, which we need to continue to work to get engaged teachers, engaged administrators, engaged central office, but also an engaged school board and an engaged community. So I think as you guys are here because you're engaged, and so I thank you for that. But I want to encourage you to look for those people on the school board who are engaged in what we're doing. Those people that are a part of, have skin in the game, and are looking for ways to improve our district, which will lead to improvements in our community. So just want to encourage you to get out and vote. And I'm looking forward to seeing our board continue to take steps in the right direction. Thank you.
Please join me in a round of applause for our candidates this evening. On behalf of our sponsors, the Rowan Chamber, the Salisbury Post, and Catawba College, we appreciate you taking your time, and we thank you, those of the community that were able to join us this evening. We thank you for taking your citizenship responsibility seriously. Before we conclude our forum, I have two quick announcements. One is from the Rowan-Salisbury Schools Meet and Greets with the new RSS Superintendent, Dr. Kelly Withers. Those will be hosted by our community schools. The Salisbury community will be meeting on October the 20th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Bell Tower Green Park. East Rowan community, October the 25th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Old Stone House. South Rowan community, October the 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. At China Grove Memorial Building. And then West Rowan community, November the 1st from 4 to 6 at Patterson Farm. The North Rowan community is November 7th from 4 to 6 at the Entertainment and Wellness Center, Connected Entertainment and Wellness Center. And finally, the Southeast Rowan community, your meet and greet will be November the 9th from 4 to 6, China Grove Roller Mill. The final announcement is to please remember to vote on or before November the 8th. And this concludes our forum, and I wish that you have a good evening.